Lae is more than just a city. It is the industrial heart of Papua New Guinea, a gateway to the highlands, and a place shaped by trade, aviation, war, and resilience. From ancient indigenous settlements to colonial rule, to World War II devastation, and finally to independence and modern growth, this is the history of Lae. Before we dive into history, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. Okay, back to history. Long before Europeans arrived, the land we now call Lae was home to indigenous communities, mainly the Bukawa, Yabim, and Kela peoples. These communities lived along the Huon Gulf and the Markham River, relying on fishing, gardening, and trade with inland groups. German colonial period, 1884 to 1914. In 1884, Germany claimed northeastern New Guinea, calling it Kaiser Wilhelm's Land. At the time, Lae was only a small coastal location. German attention focused more on places like Finschhafen, which became the colonial administrative center. Plantations were established across the region, producing copra and other crops. Missionaries arrived, and indigenous people were drawn into plantation labor systems. Although Lae remained small, its location, close to the Markham Valley and sheltered by the Huon Gulf, would soon make it far more important. Australian rule and the Gold Rush era, 1914 to 1942. During World War I, Australian forces took control of German New Guinea. After the war, Australia governed the territory under a League of Nations mandate. In the 1920s and 1930s, everything changed. Gold was discovered in Wau and Bololo, deep in the interior. Lae became the main supply base for the gold fields. Aircraft began flying non-stop between Lae and the highlands. The town became one of the most important aviation hubs in the Southern Hemisphere. Airstrips, wharves, warehouses, and roads were built. Lae grew rapidly, attracting Europeans, Chinese traders, and Papua New Guineans from across the region. By the late 1930s, Lae was no longer a small outpost. It was a strategic transport and commercial center. During this golden age of aviation, Lae became part of one of the greatest mysteries in history. In July 1937, the famous American aviator Amelia Earhart landed in Lae during her attempt to fly around the world. She arrived at Lae's airstrip after a long and difficult flight from Darwin, Australia, piloting her Lockheed Electra aircraft with navigator Fred Noonan. After resting, refueling, and making final preparations, Earhart took off from Lae on July 2, 1937, heading for Howland Island in the Central Pacific. That flight would become her last known journey. Radio contact was lost somewhere over the ocean, and despite extensive search efforts, Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan were never found. Because of this, Lae holds a unique place in global aviation history. It is the last confirmed location where Amelia Earhart was seen before her disappearance. Today, her connection to Lae remains a powerful reminder of the city's role in early aviation and one of the greatest unanswered mysteries of the 20th century. In January 1942, Japanese forces invaded and captured Lae. They transformed the town into a major military base, building airfields and defensive positions. Because of its strategic importance, Lae became a target of heavy Allied bombing. Much of the town was destroyed from the air. In September 1943, Australian and American forces launched a combined land and airborne assault, known as the Battle of Lae. After intense fighting, Allied forces reclaimed the town. What remained of Lae was largely ruins. Post-war rebuilding and growth, 1945 to 1975. After the war, Australia rebuilt Lae almost from scratch. Modern town planning was introduced. Roads, housing, and port facilities were expanded. Lae's port grew into the largest and busiest port in Papua New Guinea, serving the highlands and beyond. Factories, warehouses, and processing plants were established. Lae became the industrial and manufacturing center of the country. In 1965, the Papua New Guinea University of Technology was founded, making Lae a center for technical education and innovation. Independence and modern Lae, 1975 to present. In 1975, Papua New Guinea gained independence. Lae continued to grow as the nation's economic backbone, linking coastal trade with the highlands. The city expanded into areas like Top Town, Downtown, Malahang, Voko Point, and Taraka. With growth came challenges: crime, settlement expansion, and pressure on infrastructure. Yet Lae remains a city of opportunity, diversity, and resilience. Often called the Garden City, Lae reflects the strength and complexity of modern Papua New Guinea. Lae's story is one of connection, between coast and highlands, between tradition and modern industry, between destruction and rebuilding. From ancient trade routes to aviation history, from war to independence, Lae stands as a symbol of Papua New Guinea's past, present, and future. And this is the history of Lae. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss our next video uploads. Let us know in the comments if you'd like more stories about Papua New Guinea's history.